Hello everyone. So this is our last session of lesson fiber to fabric. Okay. So in previous session we have learned about the life history of silk moth or the life cycle of silk moth. So we just completed up to cocoon, but I have just want to revise the things. See, the mulberry tree is there, and that mulberry tree, that the leaves of mulberry, on which that female silkworm just hatching the eggs. See in this image. Then after laying the eggs, and after hatching of the eggs, see the silkworms are there that feeding on mulberry leaves, and after that many stages are there that we have already learned in session 3, in previous session. And the cocoons are there, that is the covering of silk fibers around that caterpillar. Okay, so up to cocoon we have finished. Now means from silkworm to cocoon, that process we have finished. Now from cocoon to silk, that process or that journey we will learn in this session. So for obtaining silks, first we should rear the moths, and then the cocoons are collected to get silk thread. So again we will learn about the rearing of silkworms. Okay, so actually here we are just learning about the how we are rearing the silkworm. So in the beginning, first in rearing of silkworm, so in the beginning the female silk moth lays 100 of eggs, like 350 to 400, that we have learned. These eggs are stored over a clean paper or a piece of cloth. That eggs actually stored, means in rearing process. I am saying in rearing process. Just see, listen carefully. So these eggs are stored over a clean paper or a piece of cloth, and these eggs are then sold to the silkworm farmers. Means the rearing persons is different, and the that production part is different. So these eggs that is present on clean paper or the piece of cloth then sold to the silkworm fibers. The farmers then keep these eggs under the accurate temperature and humidity. Means the temperature should be proper for the growth of that eggs. They are just warmed to the most appropriate temperature to hatch the eggs to produce the larva or the caterpillar. Means if we are not providing the appropriate temperature, the egg will not hatch. So for that we have to apply or we have to provide appropriate temperature. And this process is done when the mulberry trees have fresh crop of leaves, because these leaves are very important as they are food of this silkworm. The caterpillar eats these mulberry leaves day and night, and then it is grow in size. So if they are not eating the mulberry leaves, means if we are not providing the mulberry leaves on them for them, so they cannot grow. Okay. Next, the bamboo trays are used to keep these caterpillars, okay, after just growing, and some freshly chopped mulberry leaves are kept in the tray. Means again we are just providing them mulberry leaves. So after 30 to 40 days approximately, then the caterpillar just stop eating the leaves, and then it moves inside the small chambers in the bamboo trays to spin cocoon. Means after 30 to 40 days, that in the tray they just stop to eat the leaves, and they started to form cocoon around itself. And how they are just doing that? So these are produced by the secretion of liquid, that is protein. They are secreting protein from their salivary glands. We know that you are in 7th standard, you know that we also have the salivary gland that producing saliva and mixed in our food, means in digestion process. Same, silkworms are also having the salivary glands and producing a liquid that form cocoon. So small racks are given in the tray so that the cocoons get attached to that rack, and then the silk moths are developed inside the cocoon. Understood how just sericulture is happening there? In previous session we have learned the life cycle, but here we have learned the rearing of silkworm, means how actually we are taking care of that silkworm and how we are just taking the cocoon from that silkworm and then form our silk fibers. Understood? I have mentioned or I have noted the the means sentences. See there, the rearing of silkworms to obtain cocoon. So first, the female silk moth lays 100 of eggs at a time, and that happening once in a year. That also I have told. So these eggs are stored carefully on paper and cloth strips and then sold to the silkworm fibers. So this is for your convenience. Okay. So pay attention. The farmers keep eggs under hygienic condition. Hygienic means what? Free from microorganisms. Okay. And under suitable conditions of temperature and humidity, means we are providing a suitable temperature to that eggs. The eggs are then warmed to suitable temperature for hatching. When eggs hatch, silkworms and caterpillar comes out, that we have learned in our life cycle process. Next, the silkworms are then fed on mulberry leaves day and night for their growth, so then they increase enormously in size. The larva, that is the caterpillar, that is your silkworm, then are kept in clean bamboo trays along with the young and freshly chopped mulberry leaves because they require the food. So we are providing the fresh chopped mulberry leaves. So after 15 to 30 days, they just stop eating and start spinning the cocoon. So like that, we are just obtain the cocoon by rearing of silkworm. I hope that I have just explained in a very easy language so you can understand that. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. But I hope that you have just understand this process from the note, from audio you can understand, just hear again and again. I know some terms are there like larva, caterpillar, that is maybe new for you, but by hearing this session again and again or reading these notes you can understand these things properly. Okay, so this is up to cocoon. See the that silkworms, that how they are feeding on mulberry leaves, and after 30 days they just started to form spining around itself, spines, that is known as cocoon. Okay, and the next point is that processing cocoons to obtain silk fiber. Now we are on last stage for obtaining silk fiber. So see, so these cocoons that we get from rearing of silkworms, so these cocoons are used to obtain silk threads. Correct? When the cocoons are exposed to the sun or steam or boiled, the silk just gets separated from that silkworm. That I have explained in the previous session, that we are just adding that cocoon in boiling water and then we are just unwinding the silk fibers. So that again we are just doing here, again means the same process, that from cocoon to silk fiber. Here we have just learned that from silkworm to cocoon, cocoon to silk fiber. Okay, don't confuse. Then this process of getting silk thread from the cocoon to use it as a silk fabric is known as a reeling of silk. The process is actually known as reeling from cocoon to silk fiber. Its process is known as reeling of the silk. Please pay attention and just focus on these definitions. Reeling, sericulture, okay. From cocoon to the silk, its process is known as reeling of the silk. And the reeling of the silk is carried out by special machines. So these machines actually what doing, that unwinding the fibers of silk, means silk fibers or the threads from the cocoon. So you can see that the cocoon is there. In this image you can see that with the help of specialized machines, see the threads, we can see the threads. So that thread just removed from the cocoon and then we get these silk fibers. And these silk fibers then converted into silk threads to make different kinds of silk fabrics like silk saris, by the weavers. Understood about the, see how the silk fiber is converted into silk cloth. So first I will explain this, that processing cocoons to obtain silk fiber. See, the cocoons are collected and boiled in water to kill the pupa inside them. Okay, means here we are just stop the life cycle. Hot water makes the silk fibers of cocoon to separate out. Either we have to add